Well, I don't think it's a good sign at all. I mean, I've worked for a number of Chinese brokerages, and at one point they were considered the bright light of the Chinese economy in capital raising. But it's quite clear now that that the crackdown by Xi Jinping starting in 2020, as you noted, on the tech sector has basically killed a lot of the deal making going forward. And plus, there's a lack of interest in private capital in general in Beijing. So why does the Beijing really need these brokerages out there mucking about with money for tech sectors that the leadership doesn't really care about? In fact, sometimes I wonder if they really need the stock markets at all, because in fact, most of the money is flooding into the state sector and higher and higher rates.
With the trade figures that are coming out today, what is your expectation in terms of policy stimulus from the authorities?
Well, this is an interesting question. I have now of the view that Xi Jinping and the leadership are not being told the straight information about how bad the economy is doing in the provinces, which we hear about anecdotally. He made a statement a couple of years ago about the ocean and occasionally has some storms. I think the assumption is in Zhongnanhai that at some point the consumer will get excited about the Chinese economy, they'll hit bottom and they'll start buying appliances, they'll start buying property. That's unlikely to happen. It's a structural downturn in China that's going to take years to overcome. But I think the leadership is hoping that somehow their animal spirits will come back, and that means that they're not interested in doing helicopter money or any other form of stimulus. Plus, if there is any stimulus of any sizable amount from the banks, most of that is going to end up in the hands of state firms and industrial production, which is already in surplus in China. So I'm not very, I don't expect a stimulus, and if it happens, it won't be terribly effective. So I think China is going to have to face a very different environment going forward.